Good morning, good morning, good morning, and happy Thursday. Once again, this is Tammy Polk, your host of the Virtuous Businesswoman Motivational Broadcast. I am excited as always to be here with you today. For those who do not know me or maybe listening to me or watching if you're on Facebook, Instagram, or Periscope right now. My name is Tammy Polk, and I am the dynamically different author, speaker, and coach of 45. Yes, you heard that right. Self-published books on all things life, faith, family, ministry, and business, and with a little bit of fiction. My goal and my joy always is to use the power of the written word to inspire, encourage, uplift, and equip you to eliminate excuses and excel in life and business. And today will be no different. For the last few episodes, we have been working through my book, The Virtuous Businesswoman, inspired by Proverbs 31. The funny thing about it is this was the book that I used when I got the approval for the radio show. I had zero clue as to what I was going to talk about. When you hear people talking about being prepared for, yes, I was not in any way, shape, or form. And so I was sitting there and I'm saying to myself, oh my goodness, excuse me, what am I going to talk about? And something inside me said, dummy, pick up a book and talk. So that's what I've done. And over time, we've made our way to chapter 15. Talking about being your own reward. We live in a culture nowadays where it is difficult for people to not have validation seeking behavior. And I want to talk about that today. Simply because we have to understand that we have to go on whether we're recognized or not, whether we are lauded by others, celebrated by others or not. And we have to understand that recognition doesn't equal success. I know that sounds crazy. However, if you've heard of the term unsung heroes, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. These are the people who are focused on simply doing the work. And that many times doing the work itself is the reward. You have to see the value in the light bulb coming on for somebody, or for someone simply smiling over what you've done. At times, the smile is enough, or the fact that they understand what you're saying, or what your product does, or what your service is meant to do. That's a reward in itself. Knowing that you have taken what God has put in you and given it to somebody that needs it, and they can live to fight another day, it's just as fulfilling. And even if only you, that person, and God know anything about it, be okay with that. Second thing, understand that results are not always immediate. There's a meme going around on Facebook right now that says the day that you plant the seed is not the day that you eat the fruit. And truer words have never been spoken. And I understand, believe me, we're working hard, we're posting, we're sharing, we're going live, we're doing events, we're knocking on doors. We are doing everything that we know to let people know who we are, what we can do, and where to find it. However, good things take time and effort to build. And you also have to kind of be okay with the fact that you may never know the impact that you have on somebody. You may have someone to hear you speak or purchase a product and service that you have, and you'll never hear from them. Won't give you a testimonial. If you try to follow up with them, you get crickets. But then, somewhere down the road, something happens, or you hear of something that you and them both know is a direct result of what they got from you. And you're like, okay, cool beans. You have to understand that sometimes you may only be a seed planter. They came to you for that product, that service, that talk, that event, and they got what they needed from you and then went elsewhere. But that does not mean that what you provided didn't meet a need. That doesn't mean that you failed. That doesn't mean that it was worthless or pointless or anything of that nature. Because as the Bible says, one person plants, another person waters, but God gives the increase. And one thing that you have to do is to be able to understand that and move forward without harboring resentment in your heart. You have to understand that not every encounter is going to lead to a deal or a sale or a connection. And that's important because you have to understand that you're not meant to work with everyone. There will be people that you are not a good fit for whatever reason. And the best way to show growth and maturity and integrity is if you're not the fit for that person, but you know who is, send them to that person. Don't just leave them to their own devices and decide not to help them because y'all aren't a good fit. If you have a flat tire on your vehicle, you're not going to drive around or try to drive around on a flat tire because the tire that you bought doesn't fit. You're going to go back to wherever you got that tire from and you're going to get the proper tire. So the same thing applies here. If you're not a good fit for somebody, find the person that you're a good fit for. Find the person that you can work with, work for, and work alongside. You can't sit back and harbor on the fact that this person doesn't meet the target market for what you have. I battled with that here recently myself, because I launched a mastermind. And originally, it was specifically for women born in August. So I went through my Facebook friends. I found 45 women with August birthdays. I put them all in a messenger chat group. I told them why they were there. I told them why they were there. I shared nuggets with them every day of what I was trying to do, what I was working on. And in the end, out of those 45 women, not one of them signed up. Not one. But when I opened it up to women not born in August, because I had to understand and realize that they needed it just as much, that was when I started to see my results. I don't harbor any bad feelings, any ill will towards those original 45. I don't have time for that. My goal is to find the women who that resonates with, that vibes with, get them in, give them value, and change lives. That's the way that you have to think about it. Now, this next thing that I'm going to say is going to sound as crazy as all get out, especially given what I do. But you also cannot do what you do solely to be considered for awards or professional organizations. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you shouldn't go out for awards, that you shouldn't go out to be a part of these professional organizations. I'm a member of several. I've been considered for several awards. But what I'm saying is that excuse me, you have to work in spite of. You can't diminish what it is that you do based on whether those people or that award accepts you. I'll tell you what I mean. Here recently, some of you may have seen me post about it. I was considered and nominated for Small Business Author of the Year. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't even know how those people found me. And even though it was the coolest thing in the world, I didn't let that determine my actions. Now, I didn't get the award, but even when I found out that I didn't get it, Tammy was still Tammy. I did not let the fact that I didn't get that one particular award keep me from moving forward. As a matter of fact, I published a book the next day. You cannot allow that to keep you from moving forward and doing what it is God has put in you to do, because there's more at stake than that. And then not only that, you've got to prayerfully consider stuff like that. Because if you're getting into things or getting involved in things simply to gain clientele, you're not there for the right reason in the first place. There's a difference between being a part of something to gain connections than to build clientele. I'm going to let that sink in. And then you have to be careful about some of these awards and some of these professional organizations, because if you have to pay to submit for an award that you were nominated for, I would run. Because you have to look at all of the things that it entails, because some of this stuff isn't worth the name that isn't worth the name that it has. So you have to be careful with what you link up with. Next thing, understand that your day is coming and look to God to open doors for you. Know that there are certain things in your life that are only going to come by God's timing. There are some things that God is holding back simply because you're either going to act a fool once you get it, or because you're not yet in a place where you're ready to even receive it. You know, promotion comes from Him. And as long as what you're doing and what you're building pleases Him, those things will come. And then the more focused that you are on doing things right before Him, you'll start to see what's coming from Him and what's not. You're not going to fall for everything that's presented to you. You're going to see the strings that are attached when somebody says that there are no strings attached. You're going to know that it's too good to be true. And then not only that, you are going to look at what happened to people who took that road and got wrapped up in all of the notoriety. Look at the lives of some of these celebrities today. They had everything in the world, but they are absolutely miserable. Absolutely miserable. And then when something happens to them, you know, it seems like it's the craziest thing, because you look at this person's life and you're like, dang, well, they had this and they had that and they had this going for them and they had that going for them, but they were miserable and lonely. And it's for that reason that I want to talk about more what it means to be your own reward. So I want you to, in these last few minutes, think about a day or a time when you've met a goal or you've met a deadline and how good that made you feel. So you decide, hey, since I got that accomplished, I'm going to reward myself. So you may, stop working early that day, or you took that vacation that you've been talking about for forever, or it can be as simple as going to eat at that restaurant that you've been saying that you were going to go to for forever. Or you might have bought yourself something that you had your eye on, or you freed up time to do something else that's been on your list for forever. You may be so joyful that you decide you're going to reward yourself by helping somebody else. The possibilities are a lot of fun and they are endless. You have to be okay with being your own cheering squad. I told a story on this show's Facebook page earlier this week about a friend of mine who was on a weight loss journey. And what she did was she went and bought her motivational outfit. You know, once we start working out and getting cute, we all have that one outfit that we really want to get into. And so what she did was she hung that outfit in front of her treadmill. And the reason why she hung it there was because no matter what other exercise tools she was using in that room, she could see that dress from anywhere in the room. And then not only that, she took pictures of it. And she printed the pictures and she went in the kitchen and she put the pictures, she taped the pictures to all of her food cabinets, to her refrigerator, her freezer, to her deep freezer, everything. So if she went in there trying to get something to eat, seeing a picture of that dress let her know, hey, before you get something out of this cabinet, remember your goal. So when the day finally came for her to try the dress on, it fit. And it fit well. And she was cute. Most importantly, she was proud of herself because she stuck to her goals. It took her a little bit longer because she had some things to get in the way. But at the end of the day, she was still her own cheering squad. I'll do you one better than that. Sunday, I was home from church with my middle daughter. And I said to myself, you know what? I am going to clean my house. I'm seriously going to clean my house. So I started from the back of my house all the way up to the front. That way, the last thing that I did was take out the trash. And as I'm taking out the trash and everything and making sure that I didn't miss anything, I'm saying to myself, man, my husband's going to come home and I wonder if he's going to even notice that I cleaned the house. And I was like, well, I hope that he notices and this, that, and the third. And then something said, Tammy, wait a minute. What about the fact that you put it in your mind to do, that you acted on it, that you had what you need, that your daughter pretty much stayed out of the way so that you could clean, and that you got it done? What about the fact that you notice how much better your house looks? Or the fact that you notice that how it change the vibe of the house, how you can see that all of the laundry is done, your windows are clean, your blinds are clean, you mopped all the floors, there's no trash everywhere, you found a place for all the toys. Why isn't that the thing that's important? And I said, you know what, self, you're right. And I said, whether he notices or not, at the end of the day, I know what I did. I know what God gave me the strength to do. So ask yourself, what rewards drive me? What doors has God already opened? What doors am I trusting God to open? What do I need to do to make myself being the one to smile a priority? And with that, as I say, that's my story and I am sticking to it. But I dare not end my show without thanking two of my most favorite people. First of all, Nicole Gates, the woman who lovingly bullied me into having this show in the first place. I thank you for doing so, and I thank you for your support over these past couple of years. To Kayla Paget, my angel, you know I love you bunches and oodles. Thank you so much for continuing to give me a platform to serve. And to my audience, whether you are listening right now on Blog Talk Radio, whether you are watching Facebook Live, Instagram Live, or Periscope, thank you so much for dealing with all of my special. And as always, God bless and Godspeed in all that you do. Keep charging and God bless. Make it a terrific Thursday, and I will see you guys again real soon.